Should you buy the cheap, low-end version or splash the cash and go for the more expensive high-end option? Well, today, I'm gonna help you out on which areas to focus on when you have to decide on how much money to spend and which kind of tier to actually go for, the low-end, the mid-end, or the high-end stuff. And also, I'm gonna give you the pros and the cons of spending very little and flashing that dollar green. As much as I think that we'd all just like to get the very most premium, super duper, uber wicked expensive stuff, let's be honest here for a second. Price matters, and I think to a lot of people, price matters a lot. And that is understandable because in today's boot game, there is a big variation and a lot of different price levels, going all the way from setting you back 300 to even 330, 350 euros, and then it goes all the way down to, say, 70 euros, or maybe even less. So there is a lot of variation. And while it's true that more expensive and a higher price doesn't necessarily mean a better product, well, you do see some sort of correlation between price and quality, to some extent at least. So basically what you need to decide is if you want the high quality and then you can live with the higher price tag, or if you are okay with the boot being not as good, but then of course spending significantly less money in the end. That decision is entirely up to you, and of course the size of your wallet. Another thing you should keep in mind is that if you have a budget of say 220 euros, and that's a good boot budget by the way, don't start looking at stuff that's too expensive so you can't afford it, because all that's gonna happen is, in the end, you're just gonna be bummed that you can't afford the high-end stuff and you might not be as happy with the stuff that you ended up getting. So instead, appreciate that 220 euros will still buy you a very, very good football boot, and just know your money limit, accept it, and then get the best possible deal you can with the money you have. Now that leads me to the big question. Will my new expensive high-end football boots make me perform better on the pitch? And there is a very simple answer to that. No. No, they won't. If you're good, you're good. And you're gonna be good no matter what you wear. So why on earth, Jay, should I go out and spend 300 euros on a high-end pair of football boots when I could be just as good in a pair that cost me 70? Well, here's the deal, that I like high-end boots more than I like low-end boots, and that is simply because of the quality. They feel better and they give me a certain mental edge when I'm playing out there compared to the low-end boots. And call me a boot snob if you will, but there's actually a reason that the high-end stuff is better and ultimately more expensive as well. Because the materials are just, well, they're just higher quality. The boots are often a lot lighter, the fit is tighter and, should we say, less chunky than in the low-end boots, and also the touch on the ball is often a little bit more elegant and streamlined. So while you won't admittedly turn into Ronaldo instantly just by putting on a pair of Mercurials, I'm gonna claim that you will always get a better playing experience wearing a pair of Mercurial Vapors than you will wearing a pair of Mercurial Victories. Then what you need to figure out is how much money is that extra better playing experience actually worth to you. Think about that. But if you're still a big question mark on when and what to get, let me try and give you a few more tips here. Now, if you're a young guy or a girl and you're still growing and you're growing fast, you have to get new shoes or boots all the time. Do not go out and spend money, and a lot of money, on the most expensive stuff, because you're probably gonna have to change your sizes in 6 months' time anyway. So spend whatever you or your parents are okay with spending on stuff that you might not be wearing for that long. One more tip here. While you do get a lot of football boot for the money when you buy one of the cheaper options, as with everything, you kind of get what you pay for. So keep in mind that while the cheaper options might have the same silhouette and the same design as the more expensive options, as I mentioned, the quality on the cheaper boots they're just lower than they are on the more expensive stuff. Look at the Hypervenom Phantom and the Hypervenom Felon. They both have the dynamic fit collar looking sock, but the quality of the material is just very different. And if you want to find out how the whole silo differences work, I've made a lot of videos that you can watch by clicking the eye on your screen right now and get to know the silos from the inside and out. So my biggest tip to deciding is A, find out what kind of football boot you want. B, find out if you actually have the money to go and buy it and then see. Do a bit of research, do a bit of digging in the market to find the best deal, because I'm not saying that the decision should be between the high-end Nike stuff and the low-end Nike stuff, or the high-end Adidas stuff, the low-end Adidas stuff. Same thing goes for Puma, because there are other brands out there where some of the high-end models are actually not that much more expensive than some of the low-end and the mid-end stuff from Nike, Adidas and Puma. So think about it. But guys, what would you wear personally? Would you wear a low-end boot? Would you wear a high-end boot? What are your thoughts? You should let me know in the comment section right down below. Also, if you need a bit of advice on how to get the right football boot, we've made a video that you can watch by clicking right down here. Also, don't forget to subscribe by clicking up here so you won't miss a single of our wicked football videos. Leave me a thumbs up if you had a good time. Leave me a thumbs down if you thought the whole thing sucked. And finally, don't forget to spread the word by sharing the video with your friends. And with that said, I'm signing off. Cheerio.